Hello everyone and welcome back. And this will be your general weekly reading for the sign of Sagittarius for the week of September 29th. And I would like to give a very special thank you to each and every one of you out there who have been subscribing to my channel and helping it grow and getting it noticed. And of course for all the thumbs up on all the videos that you've watched, as well as giving them hypes. I thank you very much for doing that as well. And all the lovely comments. It is so greatly appreciated. Thank you. Okay. And the Eight of Swords. Setting yourself free. Realizing you've been getting in your own way for a while now. And you're finally releasing that negative thoughts. Setting yourself more independent. You know, no longer allowing things to have happened in your life. Like, you can't change anything, but you're coming to an understanding that, you know, some things have happened and you're not going to let it just stop you dead in your tracks anymore. You have momentum, you have something you want to get started on and get going, and you're no longer allowing yourself that, well, you know, an example is you're going to school and you failed a test, so you're not going to do it anymore because you failed. No, you're going to go and try again until you actually succeed at it, that sort of thing. You're no longer just allowing it to hold you back from your dreams. And the King of Swords, look at that, finally taking charge. Understanding that you want things to move forward, and the only way for you to get going on this is to think more positive. So you're using your head over your heart. You're telling yourself, you know, the honest truth of why you're getting in your own way, and letting it go. Understanding that all those negative thoughts, you know, somebody might have said something to you a very long time ago and it just sort of stuck within you. But whatever that was, you're learning to no longer give yourself a cheap excuse. You're just going to go for it. And the Two of Wands, look at you go. New beginnings, new opportunities. You got the whole world in your hands. And you're planning. You're literally making plans, making decisions. And you're discovering as you're going, it's becoming no longer just a dream, but a reality. Some of you are leaving home, like moving away from some place that you have been at for a long time. Making travel plans, something that is very new to you. You know, you pretty much go to work and come home and, you know, that sort of thing. But now you're starting to venture out a little more into the world, just to see, instead of always hearing about. You're starting to want to experience more. And the Nine of Pentacles, and you're okay with doing it by yourself. You're realizing that, you know, you're starting to enjoy your own company, where you don't have to answer to somebody. And if you're feeling lonely, you know, you can just pick up the phone and chit chat with somebody, and it helps to heal that and fill that void. But you're looking at the long-term vision for yourself, all your hard work, where you're at, what you have now, and realizing that there's more that you want. And you're quite comfortable about going, you know, around doing what it is. But this is like the fruits of your own labor. You're allowing yourself to buy something that you like, do something that you like, you know, instead of always just, you know, going to work and putting the money away. And that you're finally realizing that your finances are not only your own independence, but you're not in lack of your finances this week. You're doing quite well. And the Death card, yeah, you're finally realizing that you can begin again. You know, this is an ending to some sort of cycle so that you can start a fresh new beginning again. And you are really making a true transformation within your own being here. You are really welcoming the ending of this cycle so that you can start totally fresh somewhere else, doing something else, and not having any second thoughts or regrets or, the things that everybody does to themselves. You're finally realizing that you don't need all of that in your life. The world has been trying to show you for a long time. So you're now getting that opportunity to realize it for yourself. And the Queen of Rods. Yeah, look at that, new beginning, new opportunities. Taking charge, understanding that things are about to change because it's what you want. You have the courage, the determination, you're self-reliant, and you're focused this week. Very focused on something that you want to accomplish. And you have more zest for life, more experiences. You want to do more things. You want to get out there, have a little more joy in your life. You've been holding yourself back for quite some time, and I think you just had that wake-up call and realizing, why are you doing it? You're starting to ask yourself that valid question. Why are you becoming, like the hermit almost, sticking to yourself, not enjoying anything, listening to other people's stories? But you're starting to realize that in order for you to have those experiences, you have to be comfortable with yourself. And once you are, it's going to be so surprising how many people come to you and ask you different things, invite you to different places. Yeah, the Five of Rods, there you are, standing out. There's been conflicts, disagreements, all that sort of stuff, but you stood your ground. You were sure of what it was that you wanted. There was no competition. There was no compromising. Even with all that's been going on, you stood absolutely still, watched everything unfold. And you're realizing you don't have to do anything. Everybody's doing it all on their own. And you just get to see it and not have to take part in it. And the Star card, yeah. Wow, you're definitely at a higher level than the people around you right now. You have your hopes, you have faith again. You're feeling renewed, like starting all over again, but with good fortune. Like people are not only noticing you, they're starting to choose you because they're realizing all that you've said or what you said you were going to do or have, you're accomplishing it. So that is really good. People really starting to notice you for the right reasons. And that's a good omen that you can have your desires. You're just beginning. And it doesn't matter how old you are. You're decided that you're changing things about your life and be comfortable within your own skin. Oh, beautiful. Ace of Cups, new beginnings, new opportunities. There's love in the air. You're feeling invigorated again. There could be a new child in the family, so congratulations to you for that. There could be even a marriage proposal. And it doesn't necessarily have to be you proposing to somebody else. Somebody else could propose to you, and it doesn't have to just be marriage. It could be a proposal to begin a business, move somewhere. There's many opportunities that will present themselves to you. And then you'll have to make a different choice going forward. But it's a really prosperous, good beginning. More things are being poured into you more vigorously than it has in a long time. So it's not overwhelming, but you're sort of in shock this week of how much good things, positive things are starting to flow your way. And it helps you to balance things in your life, be more receptive to more good things coming into your life. And the Four of Pentacles, yeah, you're still watching your P's and Q's, making sure that you're not overspending, learning how to enjoy yourself, do different things. There might have been a little bit of extra money that has gone out. Maybe you bought yourself something and having that, afterthought that, you've spent a little bit too much, but you're okay. You're secure. You have enough. You're in control of your finances, your future, where it's going and how it's growing in some cases. But you're feeling more comfortable. You're actually just spending ever so little bit to enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. And that in turn will help you to continue to gain more. And the Queen of Pentacles, definitely taking care of your finances, being more comfortable with your growth in all areas of your life. You're rewarding yourself. You're making some purchases here this week. And they don't have to be big. They could be a coffee cup that you've always admired. But, you'd buy it for somebody else without even having a second thought, as a gift. But for yourself, you really renege on it. But this week you're allowing yourself to, and you'll find them at really good deals because it's just that kind of week. The universe is listening to you, what it is that you want for a change. And the Six of Rods, look at that. Beautiful. Finally getting your recognition. Long overdue. Public recognition, victory, progress going forward, more self-confidence in yourself, and you definitely should be confident in yourself. You're a very strong, giving person. And you're finally realizing where you're at in life, how comfortable you truly are with yourself, and that attracts others to you because they want to be that. They want to feel that experience. But you're okay with that. It's definitely, you've earned it. Hasn't been just handed to you. And you finally get to say, well, this is what I've done, or this is how I've done it, or whatever it happens to be. But you are going to feel proud of it and own it, and you should. And people are finally going to say, you were right. Yeah, whatever it happens to be for you, but you are really finally standing out in such a positive light. And the Magician, beautiful. You're taking action here, and it has definitely made people realize, what your worth is. You manifested something, you had the willpower and self-control and confidence to feel strong in your standings. And people are starting to recognize that. So this has taken a lot of willpower and skill on your behalf. But you own it because it is something you want. So this man, you really wanted something. And it's about to turn around and head in your direction. Because you can practically move a mountain this week. Just with your willpower and determination. But you really want to get something started. You probably already have begun on this. Like you've taken the steps here by the looks of it. And now the universe is saying, okay, let's do this. That sort of action is coming in for you. And it's going to happen just like magic. Right out of the blue. And you're going to want it and accept it and be happy. But in the back of your mind, you're going to be going, wow, I can't believe this. That sort of attitude, but it is coming straight at you. And that is beautiful to see and witness reading that. All right. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others. Yes. Focusing on that which frightens or worries you. Yeah, letting it go. And on that note, I will say goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will talk to you again next week. Bye for now.